All right, welcome everybody to the Spectre Radio. I am your host, The Shadow, and tonight is going to be a really interesting night. There's a little bit of a change up. Some people are not feeling well, so they were not able to make it. But hopefully, I will be able to get two more guests on the show. Um, Before I go any further, I do want to make a couple of quick announcements. Uh, this hopefully will not be the only one. I do plan to do another one, so if you are interested in being a part of the next one, reach out to me and I will get that taken care of and get you on. And if you want to support Spectre Radio, as you know, this does tend to take money. You can get some of my merch, which the link for that merch is on my Facebook page. So stop by there and check that out. Also, I did not get the chance to get the image up. Kind of ran out of time, but this show, as you've seen in the intro, is streaming on Parapost Network Central. You can get that app for free. It is available for both Android and iOS. So go out there, get the app, sign up, and start networking today. So speaking of which, I do have guests here, and so let's start. I'm just going to go ahead as a professional courtesy. Bring the first one out. This is the man behind Parapost itself, Brian Laverty.
Hey, everyone. So, thank you. Hey, Aaron. That was nice. Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
Welcome. You're welcome. All right. And the next guest, I just recently met her today, and she had some interesting things to talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, Suzanne.
Hello, everyone. Good to be on.
Well, Thanks for having. Thanks for responding. And of course, we can't forget that one annoying little polyp hanging between the crack, Matt Barron.
Venereal
What's
disease.
up, everybody?
Venereal disease.
We had a little joke behind the stage about that.
I came in at the wrong time, but it's still a good right time.
Yeah, just a little bit. So I do have to put this up before I go any further because someone is bound to get their feelings hurt with the conversation and language. But here we go. So,
Can you put me down in the right? Can you put me down in the right corner so I could just be like a little mouse and not really respond to anything?
Like that?
There you go.
Now he's right next to me. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have some people in the audience watching. I want to say hi real quick. Carol. Thanks for stopping by. If you can share this out. And speaking of sharing out, do check out the link in the description. I wasn't able to get every single link in the description, but check them out because they do have others. Share all the stuff out. This episode is about community, so let's show some support for everybody here.
I shared to 5 pages while the intro was going on.
There you go. I mean, I don't need you to, blast this out, and then get me everywhere. But if you just share to one page, you'd be surprised how much that helps.
Okay. Well, I'll delete them on the other pages I shared them.
So yeah, and of course, Emmy. We talked about you a little bit ago, Emmy. We do hope that you feel better.
Yep.
We'll get you on the next one.
Get better,
Sammy.
And of course, we can't forget our sister from across the pond, Liz Milner.
Yep.
Thank you for stopping by, Liz.
I will say this. How about if I can say this for a minute? Every single morning, in the Huntophobia group chat and Messenger, Liz always says hello or good morning to a lot of people in the chat, and I want to thank her for her doing that. That's really super nice.
100%.
You know what? It's funny because if I'm holding my phone and all of a sudden it starts because I always have my phone on silent. So if it starts vibrating a lot, I go, okay, that's Liz. And open it up, and there's Liz.
Yep.
Right.
Love that. Love Liz. And if she doesn't catch her live, she always goes after and comments and posts. It's great.
All right. Looks like we are going to have a couple more people on the show. So let me get them the link.
Isn't that the ring of the old cell phone
Mm-hmm.
back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
What phone was that?
So,
I don't know what cell phone that was.
Never heard of the OG one, but
Yeah.
that sound haunts my nightmares. I hear it all the time. It's like nostalgia. It's weird.
Crap.
okay,
I might go. My might go down. I hope not. I might go down. When I start hearing ringing in my ear, I might go down.
Oh boy.
all right. So I just sent out the link for 2 more guests. So this
Sweet.
starting to be a little bit more interesting. But real quick, let tell some of our viewers, a little bit about yourself. So we'll, as a gentleman, we'll start off with Suzette.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
I agree.
So I'm Suzette. I had I have a podcast, Paranormal Happy Hour, and I've actually have a paranormal group, CMPS, that has been formed since 2004 and still going strong.
All right. And we just had a new guest pop in, Donna Sassy Partlow, host of Echoes in the Wind. We're just kind of going, doing a little bit and telling a little bit about ourselves real quick before we actually get into the meat of the conversation. So, Donna, would you like to say something about yourself?
I'm Donna, host on Echoes in the Wind, and I'm a psychic medium, clairvoyant, and a list. And I also work with Grizzly on cold cases.
All right.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm on his team. I've been on his team for a little bit.
Awesome.
Very nice.
All right.
You've got
And
me.
just-
That's the sound.
I can still hear it too. I can still hear it.
I don't usually throw Grizzly out there, but he told me I could, so.
And, I know we kind of threw a little pot shot at Matt, so I will let you give a little bit about yourself real quick.
Oh, shit. I am Matt Barron, paranormal consultant. You can find me pretty much everywhere, as Brian likes to say, any podcast.
Yep.
I host my own show, Paraverse Podcast. I'm also one of the directors. There's the other one of the Global Ghost Hunt. Proudly. I have to throw that in. And I'm also one of the co-hosts of the GGH Labs.
Yep.
All
There
right.
you go.
And last but certainly not least, Brian, let's hear a little bit about you.
There you go. Matt's a panel whore.
Proudly. Proudly. Thank you.
Where to begin? My group name for paranormal investigations is Huntophobia, which is really not a group, it's just me. Huntophobia, you can find it anywhere on social media. I also own Parapost Network, the app. So if you, as Aaron did or said at the beginning of the show, if you want to download that, you can download it through iOS or Android. I also own the page Parapost Network Central, as we're on right now, and Parapost International, which is, I want to give this shout out because we want to get more teams on or more podcasts onto that page. If you are outside of North America, and if you want to get on to another page to help you grow, give us a message over on Parapost Network, and we'll get you on that page. If you're outside of North America, I know there are some people on there from North America, but we're still trying to grow that page. So
I forgot to say that. I'm on Parapost. I forgot to say that.
And Donna is on Parapost. She just came to Parapost, 2 weeks ago?
Probably about a month. I think.
Yeah. Okay. So, and obviously, I have a vodcast that's usually on every week or every other week. It's called Through the Lens. That's on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I will be having a show this weekend on Sunday, and I am going to be interviewing. He's a famous guy. He's a real famous guy, and that would be Victor Santiago. I'm going to be interviewing him this weekend. I'm trying to get outside the scope of just paranormal, so I'm going to be doing other things as well. just not paranormal anymore. It's through the lens. So anything that would be in front of a camera, I'm going to try to bring them on and interview them. So I think that's about it. Oh, one more. The biggest one. I forgot. And that's Global Ghost Hunt.
Yes.
Never heard of
I
it.
am associated with Global Ghost Hunt. And yeah, so and just to let everybody know, after this show, I don't know what time it is. What is the time for tonight's show? So after this,
depends on when this is done.
Yeah, after this, we're going to be doing a GGH live because we have some surprises that everybody's really going to be intrigued about and really happy about. So, yeah, that's it. No more.
Yeah. Anybody want to answer this question real quick?
Don't look at me. I know I'm the usual suspect, but don't look at me.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hemi, what kind of meds are you on?
Yes.
Right.
Can you share?
I will say, just for the sake of nostalgia and Don Vic, respect the Don.
Yeah, respect the Don. And I am gonna. If you didn't see his show last night, Don is going to be bringing out. It's going to be part of his show, the Don Vic Show, obviously. But he's going to be starting. I don't know when it's starting, but it's starting soon. It's he's going to have a showdown, and it's going to be singers. And if you sing, if you lip sync, doesn't matter. He's going to be having a contest of if you lip sync or sing, you can come on a show and you're going to battle someone else.
Oh wow!
And then there's going to be judges. I'm going to be one of the judges on one of the shows. So just call me Simon Cowell during that show. So so AKA Simon Cowell. Yeah, so that should be fun. I don't know when that's going to start, but hopefully soon, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Something different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Well, okay. So now that we kind of got all that taken care of, and I'm sure a lot of people are kind of waiting to see where this show goes, because I did mention that this would be kind of a trial by fire, and I do intend to stir the pot a little bit, you know, and there will be some questions about certain topics in the paranormal, but really the main idea is to promote the idea of para-unity, because for me, para-unity has become something of a cliche. It's kind of become, played out, and that bothers me because I really like the idea. The problem is that I see a lot of people think that para-unity means you have to agree on everything, which it doesn't.
No.
If there's no disagreement, if there's no, opposing thoughts, then there's no inspiration to take the field to the next level. And I kind of want to inspire that in people with this show, and hopefully with future episodes of Consortium of Shadows. With that being said, what are some of the best way to describe this? What are some of the issues that you've seen that happen in the field that don't need to happen, that causes unnecessary division or contention? What's the one thing that you see as being the most problematic from your perspective? And we'll go ahead and start with Donna on this one.
What do I see in the field?
Yeah, what's the biggest problem that you see in the field?
I'll skip. Go to Matt.
Okay. Now, apparently, we're going to treat this like truth, dare, double dare, promise, or repeat. So, Matt, you're next.
I've said this for a while, and actually, we just spoke about it on my show. Ego. Everybody is after. I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people are after themselves. We all see the shows. I think a lot of us have some sort of connection with the show, whether it be, starting out or the motivation to go out and investigate. But what a lot of people fail to realize is these shows, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money. And on top of that, you're talking 1 in a million chance of it even happening to you. Look at baseball players or any type of athletes. To go to the big leagues, the professionals, to get paid for it, not everybody's going to do it. It's who you know. And you know, they get the idea in their head that they're going to be the next, you know, ghost hunters. I won't mention that one. It's not my show. I'm not going to mention that. But they're going to be the next TV star. And it's the likelihood of that, sorry guys, not going to happen. We are in a field of spending money, not making it. If it happens, if you have the opportunity to do it, great. You know, this field would be so much better if people would just forget about a piece of paper and realize why you're in this field. Why did you start being in this field? And it's simple to get answers. What happens after death? That's the big question. And it's not going to take, you know, just Brian, you know, Suzette, Donna, Aaron, myself, anybody in this chat. It's not going to take one of us. It's going to take all of us. And when we start thinking like that, the field's going to get so much better. You know, if you don't like somebody, go away. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Watch another show. Go to another, you know, podcast. You know, just there's no need for the nitpicking. There really isn't.
Right.
You know, you're in this for the right reasons if you can work together. And I use the analogy, the paranormal is like a big jigsaw puzzle. It's going to take every single unique piece to make that picture happen.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
I'm off my soapbox.
I mean, I honestly agree with Matt because I experienced it hand on and still experiencing it. There's a lot of people that not necessarily are jealous, but they want to, they expect to be instantly recognized. And it's just, you know, they either say negative comments or, you know, try to, in a way, not degrade you, but try to just try to overtake your position in the paranormal field. So I would definitely, you know, and like Matt said, it's not, if for the people that think, oh, you know, I'm going to instantly be on a TV show, you know, it's very hard. I mean, you know, you just have to, you really have to love, the reason why I'm in this is I really love what I'm doing. And I don't care if, you know, 1 million people see me or one person sees me. It's just, you know, it's really what I love to do. So.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Brian.
Yeah. And, you know, with going off with what everybody else has said, I think the biggest problem is a lot of these people pick up a camera and they think they're going to be the next TV star. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I honestly think there's an inner competition between all of us. I think that's a big thing. I'm not saying us. I'm just generally speaking. I think everybody in some way inside themselves think this is a competition who's going to get the best evidence. My third thing is, and this again, this is my opinion. I think there's a lot of investigators out there not knowledgeable about the field.
Right.
And I don't know how many times I see pictures. I don't know how many times I see videos of things that are not there that they automatically assume that there are. And then what happens is everybody starts making comments, and it's not necessarily positive comments. And that's where the drama starts coming in, that you attacked me because I captured something. And it happens all the time. I don't know how many times, like I saw a picture last week and this person automatically assumed that it was an orb. Well, you should have saw all the negative comments that was in that picture, because this person that posted the picture wasn't knowledgeable on what a real orb is. If you're standing in a, I'm just using that as an example. Okay. So, so I've seen a video where somebody posted and they were sitting in a room and they had the camera and the light was off and the light was shining and there was thousands and thousands of dust particles. And they automatically assumed that was orbs. Now the problem is, I don't care if you post the video. If you believe that's what it is, that's completely up to you. The problem is you have everybody in the comments making so many negative comments, And
Right.
and that's where the drama starts. That's where the fighting starts, because there could be a comment in there that somebody that you got offended by, and then they go to somebody else and say, "Oh, you should have seen what this person said." You know, it's a lot of it is not being knowledgeable in the field, not knowing what you're talking about. You haven't taken the time to do your research to find out whatever it may be. I see
Mhm.
that a lot, but the biggest thing I see is the inner competition with everyone. Who has the best evidence? I captured this. I captured this. I captured this. You know what? At the end of the day, and I've heard Matt say this a number of times, we're all after the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all after the same thing. We want to capture that evidence because we want to prove that there's, you know, life after death, I guess.
Yeah. Well, more than
And
what we see.
but um I know a lot of people say ego, but I don't know if it's necessarily just ego. I think there's so many factors that um, are intertwined with this, that you
Right.
just can't place it on ego. You just can't place it on this. You just can't place it on this. It's several different reasons why this
Right.
happens, and then on top of that, um, you just have a lot of people that I think, and this is going to probably sound funny, but then you have a lot of people that are just bored and have nothing else to do and want to make fun of somebody else.
Hmm.
Well,
I agree.
And that's in any field, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've been in the acting field. I was in the acting field when I was in my 20s. I've been back in the acting field for the last 4 years. And you guys thought it was bad in the paranormal field. It's just as bad in the acting field. And that's what I said on Matt's show today, that it's just not in our field. It's in
Mhm.
every single field out there. You
Yeah.
always have inner fights in offices. You always
Mhm.
have drama in offices. So I know for us personally, it sticks out because we're in the field and we see it all the time. But if you guys were in, another field that you were passionate about, I'm sure it'd be the same thing. Like
Mhm.
I recently heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard it's just as bad in the cryptid field as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's my point. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. But
Mhm.
shows like this, it's networks like Parapost and Paralinks that are trying to bring these groups together to not fight. It's about sharing, and that's why I built Parapost Network, the app, so people
Mhm.
can communicate with each other and share each other's pictures and videos. You know,
Mhm.
but it's this inner competition that doesn't seem to want to stop,
Right.
and I don't even think sometimes people realize they're doing it, to be honest. So that's my opinion. It was long-winded, but got my point across.
All right, Donna, you want to try to get
Would
back on
you
that?
agree? Would you agree?
I agree with all of it. I mean,
Mhm.
you know,
Mm,
I agree with everybody. What everybody said right
yeah,
off the bat.
Right.
yeah.
I
Too
mean,
bad.
you're not gonna get fame here, and I do what I do because I love what I do. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
well, and if I could just piggyback off of Brian here, here's the thing that I think a lot of people forget, and in these paranormal investigators, whether you're cryptid, UFO, paranormal, whatever, you got to understand when you start posting stuff on the Parapost, the Paralinks, your own pages. Obviously, you're going to get some feedback, good or bad. You have to be open to that. Just because, like with the orbs, sorry, every time, unless there's something really credible with it, I'm going to call it dust. That's
Mhm.
just how
Mhm.
my brain works. That's how I work. I will try to debunk things. You have to be open to criticism. And if you're going
Right.
to give criticism, be constructive about it. Don't be destructive.
Yeah.
We're supposed to work together because maybe there is something that is on that video that can make or break a piece of evidence. One key example is I was shown a piece of evidence from the USS North Carolina. Perfect would be a full-bodied apparition. That was the claim. And it was a great catch. Absolutely great. until I started digging and I realized it was our tour guide.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you have to be open to that. You have to, especially if you're putting it on social media.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things that I've seen with a lot of these people. The ones that usually end up talking the most negative are the ones that are just out trying to get YouTube click and don't really know the field at all. Because, excuse me, you go on YouTube and you type in paranormal capture, there are millions of them. And granted, most of them you can clearly see that it's been faked, it's been doctored, whatever. And the ones that are like genuine and legit tend to get lost in all that. And that when you get lost in that and somebody sees it, they automatically assume that it is just like everybody else that's fake. Well, if you're that convinced, go out there and prove it wrong. Instead of talking about it, prove it wrong. And a lot of times people, they do that and they end up finding that it was real, but their own pride got in the way and they don't want to admit it. So they end up holding on to their position of believing that it's fake. How would you help people who do have real paranormal evidence get out there and become known? And I'll start with you on that one, Brian.
Join the
Besides
Global Ghost
Paraphone.
Hunt. Join Global Ghost Hunt.
Saw that
There you
coming
go.
a mile away.
Yep.
No,
You're right. You're right.
You know what? It's as simple as that. Like you want to get into if you want to get your evidence out there, you want to get your team out there, join a event, join something that is going to get your team out there. It's going to get it known. And I was kidding about Global Ghost Hunt, but there's a lot of events out there. There's a lot of things going on. There's Paracons out there. Go out there and get noticed. If this is what you're really after, this is what you really need to do.
Right.
So, you got to go to the Paracons. You got to join like a Global Ghost Hunt. You got to be in the pages. You got to be in the YouTube talking to people, getting information, whatever it may be. But I think the problem is that people put up a picture and they automatically think they're going to be famous. And it just, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. But that's what I would do. That's what I do now. I'm in rooms. I'm talking to people. And I know I'm a little bit different because I've created things that help people. But, do something like that. Create something that everybody's going to get involved. So, yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Yeah.
If that's answering your question.
It does.
Okay.
Suzette.
I would say, like start sharing your experiences, go live, either on Facebook, YouTube, have people see you go out there. Definitely there are a lot of events out there now that you could actually join, do investigations with. But definitely, yeah, share your experiences.
Yeah. All right. Donna?
Well, I've never done investigations on it's my bulldog, bulldogs, Brian.
I do. Mine was just barking a little while ago.
I've never done one on soil, and I'm dying to do one on soil.
Right.
I do I've done a lot with Liz Milne remotely. And I mean, I've seen things. I take a lot of pictures. There she is. I think I've seen things with her, but mostly not only I've seen things and taken pictures, like she's got tons of pictures that I've taken for her. But I go off my gifts. And when I feel it, I tell her, turn the camera. You know what I mean? I'll say, turn the camera this way, turn the camera that way. And the things that we catch is unbelievable. The pictures that Liz has. I don't have mine because my Facebook and everything was taken down and I lost everything that I had. But Liz still has a lot.
You know, what I know Liz was making a little bit of a joke there. She said collab with Emmy. Do that. Collab with other teams. Here's a team that you really like that's in your area.
Yep.
Send them a message. Collab with them, work with them, learn from them. They might learn from you. You know, that's how you're going to get yourself out there. That's what I did when I first started Huntophobia. I was collabing with people.
I don't have anybody around here though to collab with. So, I mean, I'm up in Massachusetts and there's nobody up here. So that's why I go on with other people. And I was doing a lot with Liz. I've been on with Pete. I got him a good shot that he showed. He was on my show and he put it up. Oh, somebody was on the show and he put the picture up that I caught for him. And he thought it was one spirit and there was like 5 in that picture. But
man.
Well, first and foremost, do whatever you're passionate about. That's number one. People will pick up on that right away, whether it's these podcasts, whether it's an investigation, whatnot. People will see whether you really appreciate and respect the field or if you really don't. So that's number one.
Right.
2, absolutely collaborate, network. You know, that's how I started out. You know, thanks to, Scott Morton from Wasp. He contacted me, and then it was just a snowball effect. Then I met all you guys, and I met a lot of different people, and
we collabed on that. We collabed on that show that we did for Women Investigate too,
which we're still waiting for. We're gonna start working on it part 2. But no, just keep doing it and have fun with it. And honestly, like I said before, who cares if somebody's negative towards you? Who cares? Just keep doing it. If you're passionate about it, keep doing it. If you question somebody about it, reach out and say, hey, how did you mean this? And have respect for each other. Work together. That's how you're going to be recognized. Be different by being yourself. I mean, that's 100% what I do. Like, there's no real secret. I am who I am, whether I'm on camera or off camera.
Right.
And that will go forward. You will see it. And look at, like I said, just be you.
Right.
Yep. I always, I don't know how many times I've actually spoken to somebody, and over the last year and a half, I've had to grow very, like a stone. Like over the last year, like when I first started the Global Ghost Hunt, Matt knows. I don't know, people in the room know, but when I first started the Global Ghost Hunt, I was getting a lot of negative messages. Like I was like, some of them were even like almost death threats.
Yeah.
For me starting the Global Ghost Hunt. And, over time I had to learn how to tune those people out. So my suggestion would be to people is, if you're putting up a post, believe in that post you're putting up. Ignore the comments, ignore the nasty comments, move on to the positive comments, because you're going to have positive comments too. You got to learn how to ignore the negativity that people are throwing at you. It took me a long time to learn that, especially over this last year and a half. And I'm like, you guys might think, okay, well, that's weird, but it's true. I was getting death threats at the beginning when I started Global Ghost Hunt, and it was scary, and I didn't know what to do. And I eventually had to say, you know what? I just got to put that negative crap aside and not even pay attention to it anymore, because that's what you need to do. So,
well, we were just talking about you, Vic, and you should have heard the shit they were saying about you. No, I'm just kidding. They did give your show a shout out in your showdown, so we are trying to get you out there as well. So let's kind of kick things up a notch and start stirring the pot a little bit.
Hold on. Hold on. Get my sleeves all up. There we go. Let's go. Sleeves are up.
All right. So, as you know, the field has so many different ideas and theories and practices out there. and some of them have been known to just be, pretty out there, and others are definitely on point. But it's always that schism in ideas. You have people that prefer just SB7, some that prefer the Estes method. You have people that believe in Ouija boards and scrying. You have people that don't. So we'll start off with the Ouija board. We've all heard the stories about how people have gotten into trouble with it. We've heard the accusations of demonic elements attached to it. What is your position on this, and would you recommend people using it or not? And I will start with Suzette.
Oh God. I actually had a bad. Well, I actually had. I just shared with Aaron. I actually had a bad experience with it. When I was, I was at trying to reach out to one of my family members, and it was just a close friend of mine and myself. I didn't even know even how to work it, but we just started tampering with it, and it wasn't a family member. I sincerely believe it was something negative, but it came through and it just stayed with me, and I felt really negative thoughts, like even like my animals were getting sick around me. It was very negative. But fortunately, I was able to, I had a close friend of mine. She was able to close the portal and we got rid of the negative energy. Whether or not I would use it again, I feel that I've heard a lot of positive things about the Ouija board, and I would, if I had experience enough, or if I had somebody that had experience, I would try it. But yeah, I just feel that if you don't know what you're doing, you should just not work with it.
Right. Matt.
Yeah, I have to agree with Suzette. It can be quite dangerous if used incorrectly, but at the same time, it's a tool. It is 100% a tool in the paranormal field, whether you believe in it or not, just like an SV7 being a broken radio. Had to give that shot.
Yeah, of course you did. Why am I not surprised?
It's me.
Yeah.
But it is how you use it. Everything has intent. No matter whether it's an SV7, Ouija board, recorder, camera, doesn't matter. It's all intent. I feel like if you know what you're doing and how to handle it properly and use it correctly, it can be a good tool. Incorrectly or not being competent in it, I've always described it's like ripping the front of your house off, putting all your valuables right in the living room and going on vacation for a week or two. When you get back, you've got no idea who or what is in that house.
Right.
And, that's where it becomes sketchy because you never know who or what you are talking to. Now, can it be a thing to summon demonics? Likelihood, no. They'll probably just laugh at you if there are any around. I think a lot of it, and Brian has said this before, the Ouija board has gotten a lot of hype from Hollywood. And let's be honest, guys, whether it's Paranormal Activity, the movie, Conjuring, whatever, they play that stuff up. The likelihood of us going out and seeing that kind of crap, few and far between. So I would just say if you're going to use it, do your research, get with people who know how to properly use it, cleanse it, close the session now and do it the correct way. Don't just run out there, to your local cemetery with a board and just start, asking random ass questions.
Right. Well, Brian.
I'm gonna be the bad guy here. And my personal feeling is, and if you're gonna use the Ouija board, by all means, go ahead and do it. Me personally, it was a toy, but it was a toy built by Mattel. I don't believe in the Ouija board. I don't think the Ouija board has anything to do with the paranormal. I think Hollywood has glorified the Ouija board with movies. I remember there was a video that was out a number of years ago on YouTube that really glorified the Ouija board. And obviously the video was fake. They made it look like there was something demonic came out of the board, and the Ouija board just went crazy after that. And with some of the movies, me personally, I wouldn't use a Ouija board. I don't judge anybody for using the Ouija board. If they want to use it, by all means, go ahead and use it. That's completely up to you. If you believe in the Ouija board, that's fine. I think personally, the Ouija board can be so easily manipulated that how do you know what's real and what's not? You know what I mean? I know the energy that's coming out of your body has a lot to do with moving the pendulum, and I think that's the only reason why it's moving, because your body, your mind, they actually say the mind, not your fingers, your mind is moving that pendulum and moving it to the yes or no, or whatever you want the answer to be. And that's what it's doing, because if you ask a question and there's a circle of you, everybody's going to be thinking of the same answer. Soon as they say, who is here? What's your name? Everybody's going to be thinking the same thing. So that energy is going to go through that pendulum, and it's going to move. But me personally, I think it's just a toy that Mattel. I think it's Mattel that built it, right? Is it Mattel? Yeah.
You would tell it Hasbro.
Or it might have been Hasbro. I think it might have been. But anyways, doesn't matter. But yeah. So that's my personal feelings. But again, I'm just going to go back to say, if you want to use it, by all means, go ahead and use it. If you believe in it, by all means, go ahead and believe in it. To me, it's like it's like the Ghost Tube app.
Oh gosh, sorry.
Some people, especially on TikTok, live and die with the Ghost Tube app. I think it's nothing but crap, to be honest. But trying to tell somebody that, there was somebody on Instagram, and he put it up there. He put something up there. A lot of people had a lot of different comments, and they were just shooting back at them. Prove that it's not real, But anyways, it is what it is. But for me personally, the Ouija board, again, I would never use it. I have no interest in using it. So that would be my answer. So.
All right. Donna, you and I have talked about this.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ouija board. Personally, I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But that's not me saying if somebody else had the knowledge, knows what they're doing, knows how to open it, knows how to close it, it's a tool.
Right.
But I just did a show. What's it like growing up with a mom as a psychic medium? I had my daughter on because she asked.
That sounds like a good show.
That does,
check it out.
That's a nice
check
one.
it out.
Mm-hmm. Is that a show?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay.
It because my daughter, we did a show, and then my daughter asked me. She called me up right after the show. She said, "Well, Ma, how come you didn't say, when I went against what you were saying when I was younger?" Like she was 18. And I said, because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't shove anything in your face or behind your back. I wouldn't do that. She knew growing up. Anyway, so I said, well, why don't we do a show? She's never seen a podcast. She's never been on a podcast. And that was her first time. So I said, we'll do a show. And actually, we did it the very next day, so she didn't chicken out. What's it like growing up with a mom as a psychic medium? So she came on. And I'll tell you what, I nearly died. Because a lot of stuff came out of her mouth that I did not know. And she messed with a Ouija board at 12 years old. And I said, you did what? Now, I knew she was messing with other things and changed their eye color. We won't get into that. You know, I don't know, Suzette. I'm getting a little energy off of you. So I think you are like me because I feel
Yes.
your energy. I mean, I've been feeling your energy as soon as I popped on here.
I didn't know you went to Massachusetts.
Yeah. Yep. But I do feel your energy. As soon as I popped on, I can feel energy. I felt yours. But anyway, my daughter said
Boston
she
knows
messed with a
Boston.
Ouija board. Huh?
Boston knows Boston.
There you go, right? So, she said she was at her. She didn't do it in my house, though, Brian. She didn't do it in my house. Thank God, because I would have choked her. Even though she's in Florida and she's older now, like, no. She went to her friend's house, and her friend pulled out a Ouija board. And all of a sudden, she was telling me her friend pulled it out. They started messing with it, and something happened, and it scared the bejesus out of her. And she left, and I said, "Did you guys close the door?" "Ma, we were kids. We don't know." I'm like, holy shit! If you would have brought something to my house, I would have choked you. You know, but she's like, "Ma, it was at her house." I said, "Don't you know? You were born with gifts. You are very gifted. You still could have brought it home. We are beacon lights." You know what I mean? And it still could have followed you home. Even though it was at her house. Yeah, it probably did stay there. But, you know,
Right.
who's to say? So when she told me that, I kind of flipped. But anyway, I wouldn't touch a Ouija board. But I don't put nobody down for using one as long as they use it the right way. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? I mean, my husband walked in the house one day, my ex-husband, with a Ouija board underneath his arm. And I said, turn around, walk out, put it in the dumpster, or go get your money back. And it's true. Like Brian's saying, you buy it at a toy store. People think it's a toy, but it's really not a toy. I've seen bad stuff from those things. So that's why I'm so against them. And
Brian, you're muted. Not to
I
interrupt.
told them straight out, you either
Sorry.
put it in that dumpster or go all the way back and get your money back.
Let me ask you a question, Donna.
But he wasn't bringing it in my house.
Let me ask you a question. Was it the Ouija board that actually caused the problem, or the people that were using it did that manifested it on their own, not necessarily with the Ouija board?
It was just
because I honestly think that if you're using a Ouija board and you're trying to get answers, you're trying to get whatever the questions, the answers, whatever, not necessarily coming from the Ouija board, it's coming from within yourself. Well, that's manifesting that particular, which could be manifesting that particular situation.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you'll see if you watch the show, she says that they ask stupid questions like they're kids, they're 12. You know, what's my boob size going to be when I'm older? You know what I mean? Those are the questions. She said it out loud.
Those are questions I want to know too when I was
12. This is questions that they ask. You know, and Kimmy was there. Kimmy was, because she's my host on the show, right? We do it together. So, and that was the kind of questions they were asking. Oh, what's my boob size going to be when I'm older? Like stupid preteen, I should say. They're 12, asking these questions. But then it started moving and something else. Doc came out while they were asking these stupid questions. And that's when they stopped. They were just asking stupid questions. They weren't asking, you know, crazy. Why'd my candle go out? What the hell? What the hell? Huh. I don't like that.
You know, Brian said something too that is actually really
We're talking
good.
about that, and my candle just went out. I got 2 protection candles here, and I swear to God, my white candle just went out. By itself, we just went out. See what I'm saying? I don't like it.
You know, Brian did bring up a really good point, though, and that's the human error in it. You know, I mean, for
Did
me,
you feel, Suzanne, when my candle went out? Honestly, talking about that, and my candle just went out. My candles have never gone out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being honest. I'm not trying to cut you off, Matt. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off. But what do you feel? You're like me. What do you feel when we talked about that and what happened? They were talking stupid stuff like what size, this, that, and the other. Boy stuff, like dumb. And that dark person came out and that candle just blew out by itself. I'm not near it.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually saw it. Yeah.
You saw it go out.
Yeah.
That's a little weird. I mean, I've never had that. And my dog now, this 40-something pound bulldog, is behind my back. Well, that's freaky. I'm sorry. But go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Trust me, Donna. After how long have we known each other?
Yeah, that just freaked me out.
I know how you ladies are up there. I know exactly. I know how it is.
And your wife's the same way. She can feel energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
No, to me, it's a human error plays a huge role in it. It can be manipulated.
Diamond,
so to me, if you want to use it for like paranormal evidence, take the human error out of it. Let the planchette just sit right in the middle of the board, and if it moves, great. You know, I mean, I would be more willing to accept it as evidence if the planchette is sitting right in the middle of the board, and people hold the board itself. Nobody's touching the planchette. Nobody's touching. You know, you can see legs, you can see the feet, you can see there's zero human error on it. You're still putting your energy into it, and the planchette moves.
Yeah, show me that, and show me that. Then I might change my mind.
Yep. So, I mean, to me, it's just like with the orbs. There has to be something to validate these responses. And to me, when you start manipulating a tool, no matter what it is, it's contamination. It's not credible evidence to me. And now I'm not saying there people are doing it on purpose. They could be honest people. They could be getting legit responses. Absolutely. But again, this is where the constructive criticism comes into effect. You have to think outside the box. When I present evidence, I look at it from a third party. How would everybody else look at this? It could be the greatest capture in the world. Somebody's going to break it down. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break it down to make sure, whether it's an EVP or something like this. You know, you have to take human error out of the equation for me to be considered evidence.
I think that's what I'm. You know, I brought up this point before. I think it was sometime last year. That point of if somebody's using a Ouija board, not to touch the pendulum and just let it sit on its own, and then everybody puts their hand on the table.
Yes.
Not necessarily the board. Yeah. And if it moves, hey, listen, I'll change my mind really, really quickly on the Ouija board. But as it stands right now, it's way too easy to manipulate. For me personally, I've seen situations where I've been there, I've been around it, and you could easily see that somebody was moving it.
Right.
So
if something like that happened, you'd be changing more than just your mind. But I guarantee anybody see that planchette moving without being touched, no underwear is going to stay clean.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd be laughing, so it'd be for another reason.
I can see them actually stopping and not doing it anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, this is kind of connected to what you said earlier about people projection. One of the things that I've always wondered with some of these locations, not it kind of falls in line with the PK entity, but this is more of the egregore, where you get so many people going to the same locations over and over, and they're all expecting that same thing, that kind of anticipation or expectation. What do you think is the likelihood that is making these hauntings stay or continue to happen? That is really just the physical manifestation of what people are looking for when they get to these locations.
Good question.
That's a good one.
And I'll just go ahead and start with you, Matt.
Well, I love using the example of Pennhurst because number one, it's recent, and number two, I think everybody has heard of Pennhurst. We've seen it on the shows. It promotes itself to be something big, nasty, scary. And I'll be honest, I think a lot of the hype is really putting a damper and a bad vibe on the location. Because you like the Wicked Queen and I, when we went there, we were all set and ready to go. Like I was sitting there, sleeves rolled up, like let's have some fun. I want to get scratched. I want, you know what I mean? I want to be attacked. I want that evidence, especially it was going to be for the Global Ghost Hunt for the first event. I wanted, badass. I wanted top of the line. Doing my research and actually listening as they walk through and talk about it, I changed my whole tune. I went from let's get attacked to let's just talk. And the spirits there, they were tortured in life. I mean, it was terrible. The conditions. And I've said this before, it put a whole new perspective on it. It was no longer, this big badass place. It was sympathy and compassion I felt for these spirits. And I realized that the scratching that these people were getting, that's not them attacking them. That's them trying to get their attention because a lot of them were nonverbal, the patients.
Yeah.
And that's how they, got connected with people, with the workers. So it was more, if you need to scratch me to get my attention, go ahead. I won't be scared of it. And we saw it with the Wicked Queen. She did a great job investigating and connecting with these spirits. And I think, we go to these places and we hear the stories, we see them on the shows, and we get that mindset, but we forget sometimes they just don't want to talk to us. Maybe they don't like us. Maybe there's something about our energy, our personality, or maybe they're just tired of hearing the same old questions. Like I've said this on my show. I would hate to be a spirit at a haunted location and hear every day, who are you? What is your name? What are you doing here? How many of you are here? I get tired of that same routine, and it gets boring for me. I go in and I just start asking questions like, what's your favorite food? What's your shoe size? Cake or pie, Brian? But, I start asking, just the most awesome.
Red velvet.
Yeah. But, you have to think outside the box. And I think us as investigators, we have to. That is our job. Our job is not to go in and ask the same routine questions. I mean, obviously introduce yourself, find out who you're speaking with, but don't ask the regular stuff. Think, use your personality, use your creativity to challenge these spirits to talk to you. It's just like these shows. We're not going to go on and, have a list of different things that we're going to go in and ask the question, check it off. No. Ask something different. What's the weather like? What's it like to die? I've asked that. I asked that on both investigations, Voodoo Authentic and Pennhurst. And you'll be amazed at the responses you'll get.
Yeah. Well, Donna.
I'm
What are
sorry.
your thoughts?
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts? Yeah. What are your thoughts about the possibility for when people go to these locations with certain expectations that they're manifesting that expectation rather than getting real paranormal evidence? Do you think that's a possibility?
You mean them going in and manifesting something?
Yeah. Because I mean, like one of the things that I'll just kind of give a real quick example. There's a place not far from where I live where there was this haunting where people would find eyeballs on the sink and help me written in blood on the mirror. Well, this went on for like 30 years and it still goes on today. I finally came across in my research that about 5 years prior to the beginning of that urban legend, a guy wrote an article about how he pulled a prank at that park, taking fish eyes and put them on the sink, and then wrote "Help me" in fish blood. And all these paranormal evidence that were happening were the psychic manifestation of everybody going there with the idea there is a spirit here, there is a spirit here, there is a spirit here. And that actually creates the paranormal event. The origin has nothing to do with it. So the ghost technically never existed in human form or spirit form. So what do you think is the likelihood of that happening with most of these locations people investigate?
No, I think, I mean, if something's there, something's there. I mean, I think you can manifest something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Anybody can manifest something, especially with depends how many people are there.
Right.
But something that crazy with eyeballs on the sink and blood, I think that's a little. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it all started out as a prank with fish eyes
Yeah,
and fish blood.
I
But ever
mean,
since then, it just grew into something, and all the paranormal events, I really believe it's an egregore rather than an actual spirit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think yeah, you can manifest something over time. People manifesting something, but
Mm.
as far as I mean, if spirits are there, I wouldn't tell anybody to scratch me or anything, Matt. I wouldn't ask nobody, hey, scratch me, bite me. No,
Hey, that's good
no.
evidence to me. If I'm pinned up
Or
against the wall,
the other
let's
thing
go.
is, I've heard people say, oh, use my energy. It's like, are you crazy? No, you ain't using my energy. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I mean, that's like psycho. No, you ain't scratching me, bite me. No, back off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's possible that you can manifest it, like Brian was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody can manifest something.
It's interesting because I've been in. Well, first of all, when I go to location, and especially if it's new, I don't like to know what's going on in that location.
Yeah,
I want to figure
Mhm.
it out myself.
clean slate.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's first things first. That's something I always do. I find it interesting. I'll give you an example. The streaming tunnel that I like to go to, there
Mhm.
are a crap load of stories on how this girl died in this tunnel. I went one night and I captured some evidence that kind of really told the story of what really happened to this girl, because that was one of the stories, but there were so many other stories that came along with it. And it's interesting because right across from the streaming tunnel there's a house and somebody lives there,
Mm.
and like right across, and then like I would love that because I'd be at the streaming tunnel every single day, just putting up a camera during the day or during the night or something like that, see if I capture anything. But we were telling him some of the stories and he goes, that's not true, that's not true, no, that never happened. I don't know where you got that from. It's like the telephone thing, right?
Yep.
When somebody sits in a circle,
Mm-hmm.
they tell one thing, and by the time it gets to the other side, it's changed like 15 different times.
Yep.
Um, I truly believe that you can walk into a location if somebody's heard something that's not necessarily true and can walk in there and continually says it over and over again and continually goes back and does it more. I think it's something easily can be manifested. Not necessarily that spiritual, that's maybe something in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and your mind is playing possible tricks on you. Your eyes are playing possible tricks on you because that's what you're going in with the intent with. That
Mm.
you're going to see this little boy
Mhm.
that is apparently there that killed the whole family when in actual fact that never happened.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's interesting because I'll give you another example. White Hill Mansion in New Jersey.
Mhm.
I've heard a lot of stories about White Hill Mansion. I've also heard that it's one of the most haunted houses in America. And I went there, and I would give it a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Really?
And then the problem was, here's the other problem, the biggest problem. And I spoke to somebody about this, I think it was today or yesterday. The biggest problem is these tour guides. The tour guides are paid to make these places look a lot more glamorous than they really are. And they will make up these stories about this place that are not true at all. Like at White Man, and listen, the guy at White Hill Mansion is the tour guide. Is really, really super nice guy. So nothing against him. I know he has a job to do, and that's what he's meant to do. But he told us a story during the tour, and I went, obviously I said it to myself, but I didn't say it to him. I said, give me a break. Give me a break. That happened. And it's stories like that. So these people are leaving, and if they come back, they're going to start asking this stuff or saying this stuff. And I think a lot of times these things can be manifested that, again, are not necessarily spiritual. It's something you're seeing because your mind's playing tricks on you, or your eyes are playing tricks on you. But again, that's just my opinion. So,
Right. How about you, Suzette?
Yeah, I truly agree. Like, especially like if you go like all the stories that you hear, if your mind is set to going in and automatically like hearing, like if you hear a little creak in the floor, that's automatically footsteps or other
Yeah.
things like that. But I do agree with everybody, definitely.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. It's
Brian.
an interesting, you know what, at the end of the day, it's really, really interesting question. It really is.
yeah.
Because we've all had experiences with this, you know, and it's just it's crazy that some of the stuff that I see out there, especially on videos. And you know what really doesn't help, and it's going back to your original question, is when you see these thumbnails, and I never ever watch a video if it has demon in the thumbnail, because that's just simply clickbait, you know. And or I was attacked by a demon tonight. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah. So we kind of come to the end of part 1.
Are you in your house, Brian?
Sorry?
I'm just really quick. Are you inside your house?
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
We've already been over this. I have like 20. I have like 20 spirits here in this place.
Yeah.
So
it's just one.
yeah. There's a lot in here.
So before we go, though, Matt has something he wants to share.
Uh-oh. He had an idea, obviously, at the beginning of the show.
Oh, it's a hell of an idea.
Yeah.
So, Brian.
Uh-oh. This isn't going to be about me, is it?
Yeah. So you'll love it. So I've been asking you about something. I know others have too for a long time. And we mentioned it. We spoke about it a little bit. But we're all tired of waiting. So I had an idea. And Aaron,
this is never ever good.
And Aaron's a part of this too. I talked to him about the idea.
Does everybody else know?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Just me and Aaron. Well, now everyone's gonna know. So one thing that the Global Ghost Hunt has that a lot of us have is merch. I've been waiting for frickin' Parapost merch for a long time. So bring it up, Aaron. I created
surprise.
a Teespring for Parapost Network with the new logo with merch. you have a bunch of hoodies, you have dog tags, you have a mug, you have now.
Where's the rest of it?
So it's still in the process.
Okay.
This is the actual sticker, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't updated. There are pants as well. There are sweatpants.
Let me show
They
you
haven't
something.
popped up
Is
yet.
it this one? Look at this. I'm going to show you something.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to show you something.
Yeah, see, I'm jealous.
Ah,
I thought about that one too.
Ah.
I thought about that. I have that basis covered as well.
You know
We
where
have-
do you know where I got that from? I think you do.
I think you've told me once or twice.
Yeah. My lovely son got that for me for a birthday present a few years back. And he got me a black one, he got me a white one. And it was a lovely gift. And I'm going to tell my son how much I love him. I know he's not watching right now, but yeah, he got me this. So
Well, I'm tired of waiting for you to do it.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I did it for you. So everybody can go to parapostmerch.com. And I wanted to throw something a little different in for you, Brian.
I don't
So
really
we all
don't
know
like this.
we all want to cuddle with Brian,
Oh my
but
god.
there's not enough for him to go around. So we have the Parapost pillow.
Oh my god.
What did I
Honest
tell you about his
God.
reaction?
Yep.
What the hell?
So
You guys
So-
are nuts.
so I did that for you, brother. And I mean, we even have dog tags. Look at this. And ladies, we have pendants. There will be obviously more merch coming. Like I said, there are sweatpants. I'm waiting for it to update. But I wanted to do something to give back because let's be honest, Brian, you do so much for this field. And we wanted to do something for you.
You know what? That's really nice. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't know what to say. I hate when you do this stuff.
Nice.
And, you know, like, I just hate it when you do this stuff. But, you know, I'm just curious on the pillows, though. It just shows half the ghost.
So here's the cool thing. So this is the front of the pillow
Yeah.
with the new para. And on the back, it has it all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
Oh,
it's
wow. It's
two-sided.
even got the App Store and that's
all the
cool.
designs are the same. They even the shirts and the hoodies, they all have the same thing front and back, except for
That's
this one.
awesome.
This one, this one I wanted to do. This is a fun little one.
That's a real cool one. What's the hat look like?
So the hat, I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting. Then there's a reason. Right now they only have like the beanies with the little poop ball on top.
Okay.
That's what they have right now for the holidays. But there is sweatpants. It just has.
Oh, I love sweatpants.
Oh, you love it. Actually,
Mhm.
Can I make a recommendation?
of course.
People,
When
if you're going on an investigation, wear sweatpants. Don't wear jeans with zippers.
Yeah.
on.
By the way, we're gonna have that. That's gonna be loaded up too. Just letting you know.
Oh, so what is it going to say? Like zippy?
Actually, what did we decide, Aaron? On the front, it was gonna just be Parapost logo, and on the back, it was gonna be a big zipper, and it says "Check your
Yep.
fly."
Oh my god!
But this
And
is
we also had
sweatpants.
an idea. You know, in the old days, they have those barbecue aprons that look like you weren't wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to make a shirt that looked like you weren't wearing a shirt and have the Parapost logo and have Mr. Nipples.
Oh god! I'm never
And-
going to live this down.
No. And if you guys are like me and you don't really are too fond of the pullovers, we do have the zipper hoodie as well.
Check out Carol's comment.
V-neck,
You
you got
need
it.
V-necks.
Yeah.
You got it.
I'm not big on the V-neck, but yeah, V-necks are popular with a lot of people. No, you know what, Matt, that's really awesome of you to do, and I really, really appreciate it. I wish I just had the time to sit down and do all this stuff, and I just don't.
Well,
So
you don't have to.
you know, but thank you very much. That's really, really cool. There you go, the haunted experiences of Sparky. And if nobody knows what Sparky is, message me after the show and I'll tell you who Sparky is.
Raymond, we talked about giving the ideas. You can make
I'm going to
something
get
up.
all these messages going, who's Sparky?
Yep.
It
Do you
has
wanna
something
meet
to do with Mr. Zippy.
him? Mhm. But yeah, there will be more merch uploaded. I just wanted to get a couple in as a starter.
That's
to get
cool,
things
Matt. Thank you
going.
very much.
So-
I appreciate that. I really do. That's really nice of you.
No worries. Oh, we
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
you.
you. Thank you to you and Aaron and whoever else was helping.
I think it was just us. I think I ran the idea. I ran a idea by Raymond. I don't think
Yeah.
I ran this one.
So once you're done that, what I can do is give me the link and I will put it on Parapost Network, the app.
Well, that's the beautiful thing. It's just
Yeah.
parapostmerch.com. I already bought the domain.
You should tell us now about Sparky.
That'd be a good way to end the show.
Yeah. It
And
is
it's not an
NC, right?
electrician.
NC 17.
If it's not,
Yeah,
it's
let me
gonna
put that back up real quick. All right, there we go.
Oh God. Let me just put it this way. Sparky is that
be. Little Brian.
little Brian. Suzette doesn't seem impressed at all. She doesn't seem impressed at all. I'm sorry, Suzette.
I was expecting Sparky to be something else, actually.
No, Sparky. His actual full name is Mr. Sparky Wiggly, if anybody really wants to know.
I'm gonna write that down. Give me a second. This is my pen.
Yeah, I can just see Donna going, "Geez, what the fuck did I just
So-
join in?"
So why is it called Sparky?
Oh God.
Because it's so shocking.
It's so shocking. That's good. I like
Is there a
that.
story behind it? Is there a story behind it? Sparky.
Oh my God.
Sparky, I would think would be like fireworks. Would be Sparky.
I was thinking more electric fence, but I mean,
Mr.
I was just shutting my mouth.
Mr.
Suzette
it's-
just went for it.
It's Mr. to people I don't like, and it's Sparky Wiggly to people I do. So, you know,
Look at her face.
look at her. Let me pick up your mouth, Suzette. But no, I don't know where it started. It started out with when I think I was, I don't know, 15 or 16. And somebody said, you should call it Chucky. And I go, no, that does not really work. So I don't know where, all kidding aside, I have no idea where it started. It just did. But then the Mr. Wiggly came out and it just fit.
no pun intended.
It fit like it loved. Yeah. Matt's turning red. Yeah, that's funny. I think
The
Donna's
idea is
turning red. I don't think Matt is. I think Donna is.
I'm just being overflown
Donna
with ideas.
would.
Donna's
Donna,
going red. You know what?
That's too much
I
information.
guarantee I'm never ever going to live this down. Now everybody knows. the
Sparky.
name. Yeah, Sparky. Just call me Sparky.
no.
Ooh, there's
Okay.
some more merch. There's some more merch ideas.
Just call
Mr.
me
Wiggly.
You're gonna have like 400 shirts by the end of this episode. This is gonna be great.
Sparky. There's going to be a lot of shirts, a lot of people wearing something. It's called Mr. Sparky Wiggly. People are
Oh,
going to go,
God.
"What is that?"
Mhm.
Ah,
That's a great
You
conversation.
need to go to Parapost Network Central.
See?
Hey, Matt, how about this one? How about this one, Matt? A question shirt. Would you like to wiggle the wiggly?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh Lord!
I love it.
Talk to Mr. Wiggly.
On the back.
Yes.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You want the word wiggly on the back?
Yeah, after I said that, I rethought about that.
You know what?
But trust me,
It
somebody
probably
couldn't give
wasn't
you a
good.
wiggly up the back.
You know what? I'll just put Mr. Wiggly on the front and on the back a big worm with a little
Oh.
name tag.
So,
going
Donna,
I mean,
you
I
sure
could
you still
see-
want to join
I
the
could see-
conversation?
That would
I mean,
be
I could see
shocking. That would too be
Chunky. I could
shocking,
see,
yes.
well, I could see Chunky, but how Wiggly? Like, how is that possible? Wiggly?
Oh,
Now,
God.
let's not forget, I was a 15-year-old boy going through puberty, and it was Yeah, it had its own mind.
Aaron, we're only doing this once a month.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to kick
At
it up a
least,
couple
at
of times.
least you weren't called Droopy.
Jesus, that's funny. I'm never ever going to live this down. And it's funny because of the fact that still people like Raymond and Nerdwitch, they always call, oh, look, it's Mr. Zippy.
Mhm.
Now, do you guys know the story behind that? Before we
boy.
go, Matt and I think Aaron knows, but
Yep,
do you
yep.
know the story on why they're saying zipper and stuff like that?
And
Do you
there's
know the
proof, by
story?
the way.
It is a true story.
And these are always the best one. True story.
Well, you know what? I don't know why this happens, but it does. Every single investigation that I go on, my zipper always comes down.
Hence the sweatpants.
Hence the sweatpants, yes. Every single investigation. If you watch any of my videos on YouTube, and I'm not encouraging people to go look for it, but if you watch, sometimes you will see it.
There is a
Oh.
video. I will say that it has a clear shot of it. I will say that.
What was that? They cut out there, Matt?
I said there is video proof, and there's a really clear shot of one.
Yes. So
Listen to Raymond.
I was at an investigation. It was an abandoned sawmill, and the camera guy was for some reason he was filming my lower half. And as I don't know why, but I was walking this way, and you can see the lower half from my waist down. I think he was trying to get our footsteps to get like kind of like a B shot for the intro. Obviously, that wasn't going in the intro. So the reason I left it in the video was because we captured a Class A EVP that said Patty, hi Patty. And Patty was the medium that was there with us.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to leave it in. But the problem was you saw what you saw.
So we're back to Mr. Chunky.
Well, yeah, it's one of those moments where I'm going to look back at that video and laugh. But at the same time, the evidence was really, really good. Like it was a good capture, and I had to leave it in.
Right.
Yeah, so Brian had an interesting time investigating with me. I did. And the funny thing is, he had made comments before about me being Canadian. And when I'm going through the video of Bobby Mackey's, because that's going to be coming out soon, I'm going to leave in the part where he said, "Forgive Brian, he's Canadian," which is really, really super funny. And that was a great investigation on Bobby Mackey's. But yeah, that video is going to be coming out soon. So yeah, and I got since we're talking about this, I got a trailer coming out in the next few days as well. So yeah.
All right. Well,
What's wrong with Canadians? I mean,
Matt, you got this one?
that's where I'm from. That's where my
Sorry,
mom.
no, it's all you.
That's where my mom's from. That's where they
Super.
came from. Over
I
the
like
border.
what Carol said. I like what Carol said there.
What'd she say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Suzette
that's
is
what I was
from-
going to say actually too.
You know
You
what,
guys hear
Suzette?
screaming?
But you know what, Suzette? By the look of your face, you seem quite confused and perplexed, and wondering what's going on here. But it's all fun. It's all funny. It's fun. It's
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's all
God!
fun.
If you guys don't know me by well, I'm one of
Oh,
the
I
guys.
know.
I
I know.
just
But you
put
know
it
what?
all
It's
out
fair.
there.
But
Put it all out
it's
there.
it's kind of fun. It's when people first hear it, it's a little bit shocking, to be honest, on why that happens. Why does that happen? I have no idea. Donna, do you have an answer? Because I don't think it's spirits. Is it spirits
One-
pulling it down? What's
That's
going on?
that's what came to me at first.
Yeah.
see,
That's what came to me.
I have to
Mhm.
think about that being a possibility because when I was doing Night Watch and we did the Palmer House Hotel, I had some guest investigators with us, and Thomas was sitting at the foot of the bed. Neil and I were on the side of the bed, and then our guest investigator was setting up her SLS camera on the other side. And she had this look on her face, and she was like, "Come here." And I'm looking at the screen, and I go, "Tom, you feeling anything?" He says, "No, why?" And no lie, I got to get a hold of her, see if I can get a copy of it. There is a stick figure performing oral on him.
Yeah, but Brian's saying it's every investigation. I know.
Maybe he got that hitchhiker that's always, like,
well,
Followed by a
What's up?
succubus.
I know he has a prankster at his house.
Mm-hmm.
But this
Does
is what I don't
prankster
understand.
Follow you?
Yeah, this is what I don't understand. It never happens until I'm on an investigation.
That's what I mean, does he follow you on this investigation? Because he's a big prankster, and he loves to
Yeah,
get
but why
you.
is he going for my fly? Do something else, for God's sakes.
I don't know. I mean,
One
could
trick
try-
pony, I guess. I don't know.
I could try to make contact and ask, but I mean, really?
Like I would
do
say,
you really want to know why it's interested in
No,
Brian's fly?
no.
at the end of the day, if it was happening during the day, or if it was just happening anywhere else, then I would say, okay, I need new pants. But like it happens on every single investigation and never happens anytime else.
It's like a trademark.
As soon as you said it, that's exactly what I got. But
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody's going with you, the prankster, because it's every investigation. You're not going to have a prankster every investigation. No. So somebody that likes messing with you. And I would say it's the one that you live with.
And it just doesn't happen once. It happens like 2 or 3 times throughout the investigation. So every time the camera's near me, the first thing I'm doing is checking my fly.
And I'll put money that he knows you're going on it. Like, I mean, they know what you're doing before you do it.
Well, this is the interesting thing, because I'm on set when I'm filming TV shows. It's never happening.
Well,
it never happens.
Here's what I'm envisioning. This prankster goes with
well,
you.
that didn't come off right. That didn't come off right.
Right.
You might want to rephrase
envisioning.
that.
Every time you go on an investigation, this spirit goes with you. And when you get there, the prankster is like, "Hey," yelling out all the other ghosts, "You want to see Mr. Chunky?"
Oh, Lord. Mr. Chunky.
Back to the Chunky.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, Suzette, but that's what I get.
See, now that's an interesting comment, like what Carol just said. You don't pay attention to him at home, so you'll get your attention on an investigation.
There you go.
That is a very, very interesting comment, Carol.
You don't pay attention. It's like, okay, you're all here. I know you're all here.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that.
Like you said, there's how many there. And it's like you live every day and ignore it. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, I always pick up that woman. Always.
Yeah, there is a nasty woman in here.
Yeah, I don't like the feeling I get off of her. That was the one that. But the prankster, I would put money that he follows you, because every investigation you're not going to get a prankster, and I bet you it's.
Now, you know what would be really weird? You know what would be really weird? I'm walking along an investigation, and all of a sudden my track pants fall down.
Oh, God. Don't give him any ideas. Feed him ideas, Brian.
Well, then we see the Canadian bacon.
Wow. That was unexpected, Suzette. I didn't expect that. Well, let me put it this way. Canadian bacon is really good.
Oh, shit.
I never tried it.
I got to stop this conversation because my head is way the fuck over here in left field.
That's funny. But everybody knows now. That's in the room at least.
Well,
It is in the wind.
I mean, you can ask somebody else what gifts, but I'm telling you, I'll put money. That's exactly what's happening. Because you're not
Yeah.
going to get a prankster every investigation you go traveling and everything else.
Yeah.
You got Mister in your house traveling with you over there.
Yeah.
He's a
So-
teenager.
Because it happened in the UK a lot as well.
He's going with you everywhere.
Yeah.
And
That's
he's
okay.
only a teenager. I would say, what, 16, 17?
Interesting.
This is a teenager. But he loves having fun.
Yeah. Wow.
And, well,
At my
you
expense,
ignore him.
apparently.
At your expense. Exactly.
Yeah,
Because you
exactly.
ignore him.
Yeah.
So,
Anyways, this has been great, Aaron. Thank you for inviting me.
No
yeah.
problem.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
What
know
happened?
you and Matt have a show you guys got to get ready for.
yeah.
So before we all split, any last shout outs you want to do for your page or your event, location for people to check out? Start with Suzette and we'll just go right down the line.
Suzanne,
All right.
hit me up.
So I have Paranormal Happy Hour that happens every other Wednesday. I believe the next one is December 6th. So you can find me there on Facebook. I'm on YouTube underneath Central Mass Paranormal Society. And, that's where I'm at.
All right. Brian.
What do I want to shout out? We got a show right after this, the GGH Live. So you definitely want to tune into that. We do have the date set for next year for the Global Ghost Hunt. That's April 25th to May 5th and October 17th to the 27th. The site, we're going to be talking about the site after this show. So, and Through the Lens this Sunday with Victor, the Don Vic show for this Sunday at 4. And now I will let people know it's at 4:30, not 4 p.m. It's at 4:30 Eastern this weekend. So that's it. And Parapost Network. Let me say one more thing. Parapost Network Central. We got a new show starting tomorrow night. Brand new show that starts tomorrow night. It's going to be, her name is, what's the name of the show? It's the Talk Urish, I believe it's called. Something along that. It's about everyday life. It's nothing to do with the paranormal, which is what we want. But if you know anybody that has a paranormal or like a show, a vodcast, it doesn't necessarily have to be paranormal. And if you want to reach out to them and say, listen, there's this page, Parapost Network Central, you can come over to this page and you'll get more more awareness for your show. So come on over to Parapost Network Central and bring your vodcast or podcast, and we'll put you up on the page. So you get a lot more people watching your show. And it doesn't have to be paranormal. It can be anything.
Right. All right. Donna.
You can find me on Echoes in the Wind. And we're open with anybody on our podcast, from psychics to whoever. And then you can always find me on Grizzlies. I'm on Grizzlies True Crimes Paranormal Team for cold cases.
Okay. And Matt.
Well, besides Global Ghost Hunt, you can find me at the Paraverse Podcast, both on YouTube and Facebook, and also Paranormal Consultant on both, and really any social media.
Right.
As far as being on Parapost, I'm on how you say it again?
Yeah, Parapost Network.
Parapost Network Central.
Yeah, I'm on that one too, right?
Yes.
Yep.
We're on that one too. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I will put you guys in the back green room for a minute as I close this out. It's great to have you guys on, and I am definitely looking forward to having you guys on again for other shows, for other topics and such. And don't worry, not all of them will be about your zipper.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to end them.
So, yeah, I will talk to you guys in just a moment. So, once again, this has been Spectre Radio. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that subscribe, like, share, And check out the merch. Check out everybody's link in the description. I was only able to get one for each one, but they do have other links to other platforms. So show some support and show some love. And as I say, whether you are an investigator, a psychic, or just curious about the paranormal, if you ever decide to go out and check things out, be smart, be safe, and be kind to one another, because you never know, your one act of kindness might change somebody's life. And as always, stay spooky.